Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Alicia George. In our top stories, ECCB to conduct first ever regional interactive session for grade 6 students. Major drug trafficking syndicate disrupted in Antigua and Barbuda. Spain's Princess Cristina to face charges. And in sports, West Indies hoping to continue winning streak. Details of these will follow.
The People's Poll is brought to you by Beacon. Guess which 8 teams will reach the quarterfinals of the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Text the country names to 5566 for a chance to win $100 Digicel top-up. The People's Poll is brought to you by Beacon. Switched on.
Welcome back. For the first time ever, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, will connect over 170 grade 6 students from its 8 member countries via video conference technology for a session that is designed to assist them with making the transition from primary to secondary school. The Regional Interactive Forum, scheduled for June 26, will provide the students with information and skills geared at preparing them for the secondary school environment, sharpening their social skills, and enhancing their knowledge of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, ECCU's financial system.
In Dominica, we selected the Rosa Primary School, and for the first time, we'll be doing a regional presentation with all of the grade 6 pupils of these primary schools who are now leaving their primary education and going into secondary school.
Each member country will have a contingent of the mentorship school, a school adopted by the ECCB in that particular country. The program is administered to grades 4, 5, and 6 students in 8 primary schools, 1 from each ECCB member country. The regional session forms part of the ECCU Primary School Mentorship Program, which began in 2007 and is designed to ensure that the students are mentored for their last 3 years at the primary school level.
We're hoping that we'll be able to widen their skills, broaden their skills, make them more aware, and we're hoping that through this presentation that the pupils will gain a deeper appreciation on the proper and positive use of telecommunication devices and social media.
The topics to be covered during the session are etiquette and deportment, making the transition from primary school to secondary school, preparing for 21st century career opportunities, and the roles and functions of the ECCB. The students will also have the opportunity to demonstrate their talents and showcase their respective cultures through a variety of cultural presentations. Child Fund Caribbean, in partnership with the West Dominica Children's Federation, on Wednesday, June 25th, donated educational materials to 6 preschools across the island. Beverly Barron, West Dominica Children's Federation coordinator, said the initiative, which began in 2011, seeks to enhance the learning environment and create change from the roots.
We want to take this opportunity to make an enhancement in that whole life stage. We're covering from 0 to 5 by working with Ms. Vida George from ECD Department of the Ministry of Education. And that is something that I met already in the pipelines.
In 2011, the Ministry of Education planned to change the preschool curriculum, allowing preschool students to better transition into the high school curriculum. To date, the initiative has distributed 200 cots to a number of preschools on island, and the organization continues to equip several more schools with the necessary material.
For the individuals who used to own it privately, or who still own it privately, they are not able to come up with such a lot of money that is required to buy the material. So the West Dominica Children's Federation, through the money that we receive from Child Fund Caribbean, has come with the assistance on this occasion to 6 preschools who will benefit from the full set of high school curriculum materials.
The schools include Benz, Head Start, Coliho, Hulibistri, Soufriere, and St. Alphonsus. Vida George, Assistant Education Officer in the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, says the ministry recognizes that children at all levels should be given the opportunity to learn in a way that is appropriate to their development.
Children at that age are curious, and we as adults need to provide them with a curriculum that presents the right environment for learning. We are therefore grateful for these materials that will assist in implementing the much acclaimed high school preschool curriculum at these 6 other preschools.
Education Minister Honorable Peter Seja says the 40th anniversary of the Alpha Center should be viewed as a time for reflection. He made the statement on Monday, June 23, 2014, during the opening ceremony of a week of activities at the school.
And as I say this, I think briefly of terms like Mongol, retarded, dotish, some among the many derogatory terms that were used over 40 years ago to refer to our children with intellectual and other special needs within our society. At that time, children were considered then as objects of ridicule and discrimination. It took the vision of a dedicated and caring group of individuals to establish the Alpha Center, to bring a process of transformation and almost eradication of these terms, together with the recognition that children with special needs have the ability to learn and to become productive members of society.
The minister stated the Alpha Center's 40 years of existence as a learning institution for children with special needs is a momentous occasion he is happy to be part of. I commend all those of you who recognize that every Dominican child can make a contribution to national development, he added.
Over the years, the Alpha Center has been transformed into an institution that caters to the needs of a diverse population of children. And so as we celebrate 40 years with the Alpha Center, I believe that it is an opportune time to reflect on the changes that have taken place within the institution, whether in terms of the physical structure, human resource, or the programs offered here. We should reflect on the new discoveries which have demystified disabilities, thus making them more identifiable.
He said since its inception in 1974, the founders of the Alpha Center were determined to make a difference in the lives of children with special needs. Although it started from very humble beginnings, he said, the focus here has always been on providing holistic education for the children that they serve.
And I wish to commend the staff for the number of innovative programs that you have established here. Students are not only engaged in academics, but also, as was clearly seen, in vocational skills, in the use of technology, thereby preparing them to thrive independently as far as possible.
The minister added the school equips students with academic, technical, and social skills which will prepare them to function independently within society. And now for the People's Poll, brought to you by Beacon. When we return, more stories.
The People's Poll is brought to you by Beacon. Guess which 8 teams will reach the quarterfinals of the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Text the country names to 5566 for a chance to win $100 Digicel top-up. The People's Poll is brought to you by Beacon. Switched on.
Welcome back. A number of activities have been planned leading up to this year's observation of Public Service Day on December 5th, 2014. The launch took place at the Fort Young Hotel on Wednesday, June 25th, 2014. According to Chief Personnel Officer Irma Edwards, Public Service Day is viewed as a time to highlight the commitment, dedication, and resilience of public officers.
It all started 15 years ago when a public officer, Mr. Lazarus Blah, who is now retired, took the initiative to share with us the strides that the Trinidad and Tobago Public Service had been making in celebrating and showcasing the work of public officers. This sparked our interest, which was fanned into a flaming ball of fire as we undertook the arduous task of introducing a similar event in Dominica. With the assistance of our regional counterparts in Trinidad and Grenada, our first celebration was a resounding success, and we have undeniably been able to sustain the momentum, enthusiasm, and motivation of public officers after 15 years.
She noted the role and impact of the public service is important to achieve targets of national development. Edwards pointed out that without the diligence, innovation, and creativity of public officers, their goals to achieve social and economic progress would be derailed. Meanwhile, Minister for Public Service, Honorable Alvin Bernard, says the employees of the public service must be commended for their contributions to the national development process.
The theme of this year's Public Service Week, or Public Service Day, is quite justifiable: an efficient service for a sustainable future. Therefore, I extend an invitation for our continued partnership in the prevailing domestic and global economic environment.
Minister Bernard noted the government is aware of the challenges faced by public servants, hence the reason for non-salary incentives including home financing, health insurance, and training. He added he is looking forward to the activities to observe the event. Some of the activities include a theme competition, community outreach activities, hikes on 2 segments of the Waitukubuli National Trail, a talent night, a church service, and sporting activities. Public Service Day will come to a close with an awards and recognition ceremony on the evening of December 5th. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has apologized to Bishop of Roseau, His Lordship Gabriel Malzier, in connection with the recent $500,000 donation to the church. The donation was made towards the ongoing cathedral renovation project. The Prime Minister was speaking at the 40th anniversary of the Alpha Center on Monday, June 23, 2014.
And I will say so publicly, as I've said in many other occasions, that when this government, which I have the honor to lead, helps people, I do not do it, I'm not motivated by vote getting. I'm not saying if I get the votes because of that, I wouldn't take it. But that's not my primary motivation.
The donation from the government has come under heavy scrutiny recently.
But my Lord Bishop, had I known that you would have gotten so much fire, I would have given you this little check quietly and so that you know. But when we're in leadership positions, we are subjected to these attacks and so forth. But we have to remain focused. And I decided to make it public so that as churchgoers ourselves, the contribution of the state would also lead us to make our own small contribution so it can add up to the $3 or $4 million which we require to build a cathedral. But we still need more money. So, you know, if you have a little 5,000 in the bank, that's, you know, and you can do away with it, you can write a check to the bishop.
The Prime Minister added that the gesture was made on behalf of the Treasury of Dominica and is urging Dominicans to continue making donations towards the project. A balance of EC $3 million is needed to complete the works which started in 2012. The National HIV and AIDS Response Program NAP of the Ministry of Health will on Friday, June 27th observe Regional Testing Day under the theme Men on Board, Getting to Zero. The goal is to empower men to be responsible for their sexual health by encouraging them to take the opportunity to know their HIV status. It also seeks to motivate men to take steps to reduce their risk of transmitting HIV infections to themselves and their partners. Every year at this time, the National HIV and AIDS Response Program collaborates with Scotiabank to provide testing and counseling for HIV to various sectors of society. This year, the unit will be concentrating on the male population and has decided to offer this service primarily to men's group, given the fact that in Dominica, the infection is male-dominated. Data reveals that 70% of persons living with HIV are males, despite the fact that more females get tested each year. The NAP will be offering testing and counseling services at its office on 21 Hanover Street on that day for those persons from the target population who desire to know their HIV status. It is hoped that at least 50 men will get tested. 7 health districts will also be providing testing and counseling services to the men in their districts. The NAP will also collaborate with a faith-based organization on Saturday, June 28, 2014. Testing and counseling will be offered at the People's Pentecostal Church in Goodwill that will serve the men from the congregation as well as men within that vicinity who would be interested in knowing their HIV status. HIV testing is an important part of prevention and treatment efforts. Studies show that those who learn they have HIV modify their behavior to reduce the risk of HIV transmission. Regional Testing Day was established as a joint project between Scotiabank and the Caribbean Broadcast Media Partnership on HIV and AIDS.